Ladies, we are here with Donita Wheeler, and this is our Biz Girlfriend Chat. So just a casual conversation to see how women, how they can help us grow with those next best steps, if you will, and also to learn a little bit about their story, where they're at, how they got here. And then Donita is also a member of the Fave Lifestyles Biz Society, and so we're going to talk a little bit about that too and her experience here at Fave. So, but first of all, Donita, tell us just a little bit about what you do and a little bit about your business, and then we'll talk a little bit more about your story.
I am an energetic therapist. I work with energy in the body, and I teach my clients how to remove energy that is not working for them and then replenish it with energy that will work for them. And, it's one of those things where you've got to take care of yourself first before you put the oxygen mask on you before you put it on anybody else. And that is what you need to do for you to get you going in life without all that stacked energy in your body from your past that keeps you doing patterns that don't work for you.
Yes. How many women out there have things that you have been doing forever that are not working for you? And
Yes.
I don't know if I'm different than anybody else, but sometimes you just feel that negative energy that's kind of hanging in the air, and you're like, oh, what is that? And it feels heavy, and you're like, oh, I just want to move forward, and you're working hard and you're doing that struggle, and it's not flowing in whether it be life or business, relationships, whatever. What if it could be different?
Yeah, it can be different. You don't need to do the same thing over and over again, expecting a different response, which is literally the definition of insanity. So we can remove that so that you can be your truest form, your truest self, and you can live in your highest vibration and attract the things you need to attract and be the person that you were way back when, that you're like, oh, there she is. One of my clients told me she was standing on the beach and she was in the water, and she's finished the program, and she was put her hand out and she could see her little self, and she was holding hands with her little self. And that meant so much to me because she's gone back to her truest self. And that's where you excel in every single place, in relationships and finances and work and home, everything, even your relationship, as crazy as this sounds, with your pets, it is just there for everyone to do. You don't have to go through life with all that burden.
Oh, wow. Yes. Isn't that nice to have a little bit of hope, to have it. I like how you said too, bringing out that true essence of you, who you are. And and having a picture in your mind. I actually do. I have a picture of myself when I was a little baby that I keep on my phone now, of that, because I want to feel that again. I want to feel that. Yeah, that pureness. And actually, I like that word. Karen actually means pure.
Oh, that's awesome.
So my purest self.
Donita means little donut. I should have talked to my mom.
I know. I just recently looked at my name. I'm like, oh, isn't that great? Yeah. So anyway, we're digressing here and going off track. So let's talk a little bit about kind of how you got to this space to be working in the field of energy and helping women kind of break those patterns of things that aren't working for them and getting them into that space where things can flow. So tell us a little bit about your journey.
Well, I had this skill when I was younger, very young, like 0 to 7. And as time goes by, the life and the society's rules, society's expectations kind of get involved. And I was ashamed. So I stopped doing it because I was different and I was weird and I wasn't prepared to be that way. So I just stopped. And then I have had cancer 5 times. So I've had melanoma, I have triple negative breast cancer, ovarian cancer twice. So these things, I've had I've moved 22 times. I've had 11 surgeries and, endless treatment. And during that time, when you're laying in bed and you can't move from chemo, you have a lot of time to think. And I thought, I'm doing something very wrong. I wasn't blaming myself in that from the cancer, but I realized that there was something in my life that wasn't pure, that wasn't getting me to the right spot. And it was causing me to have a pattern of cancer. that sounded weird. I don't have an accent, but I mean one, but not 10. So I wanted to figure that out because I didn't want cancer anymore. I was like, I don't want this anymore. And then we had a series of very unfortunate events after that. We had deaths, we had losses, we had moving, we had all sorts of things that our family was not prepared for. And that put me in even a deeper journey to open up and find myself again. And the second I removed all my stacked energy from my past, not past lives, but my past in this life, I felt so free and everything started lining up. And then I used to be a teacher, and then I did some counseling, did some therapy, did some stuff. And I was like, I think I can combine all of this with energy and get people there, because like a traditional therapist lets you come to your own conclusions. Whereas like, I don't have patience for that. So I'm like, let's get to it right now. And let's remove that. So you have one extra day of being the best version of yourself.
Oh.
And so I think everyone has to hit rock bottom. Well, not everyone, but most people have to hit rock bottom before they realize, okay, I got to change something. And you try to change it, right? Like you go to yoga and you go to exercise and you read the books and you do the workshops and you do stuff, but still there's something like there that's just not adding up. And I finally realized after doing 10 years of self-improvement stuff that it's the energy. And I was so grateful and blessed that information came to me. And it's not my information, it's the universe's information. They're just allowing me to share it with as many people as I can. So my ultimate goal is to raise the vibration of everybody around me so that we're all vibrating in love. And that's the best place to be.
Wow. Wow. Lots of questions around that. So I do want to encourage women to reach out to you to ask you more about this, because it's just so fascinating how this works. And I think it's an area that's not talked about a lot. And so, but one of the key points that has always, whenever you chat about this, is that stacked energy. So tell us just a little bit about that.
So if you imagine you have like octrillion cells in your body, and let's just pretend that they're square. I know they're not truly square, but let's just pretend. When you go to the gym and you have those stacked weights and you can put the pin in, well, the weight inside your cell is like those stacked weights, and it's broken up by ages. How I do it is it's broken up by ages. And when it's stacked in your cell and your cell gets poofy and crunchy and, it's not normal anymore, that is an abnormal cell, is the true definition of cancer. And I'm not suggesting you're going to get cancer, but what I'm saying is there's probably a lot of cancerous things existing in your life. And so if you can remove that stacked energy, I have a program that removes the stacked energy chakra by chakra through 8 chakras. 7 is really common to know about. I have an 8th one. That is how we do it. It's a self-led program. My workshops are, every once a week. So that's led weekly. But if you're an individual private client, it's self-driven. And I teach you how to remove that by sections, because you can't remove it all at once. It'd be detrimental to your body. It's like going through a cleanse. Like you might have like stomach problems, you might have a headache, you might feel tired, and then you might feel elated and, very light and flowing. So it's a program designed. I wish I could make it shorter, but you can't. It took X number of years to get in you. It's going to take a little while to get out. Yeah. So, that's kind of how I do that. And I have workshops where I work in group settings. I offer tech support. Texting, not tech. And that you wouldn't want me to support you there. And, I'm there every step of the way, but it is led. I show you how to do it, but you do it yourself so that you don't have to share everything. It's a personal journey. And I've seen high success with the women that have gone through the program.
Yeah. So what kind of success are they seeing? What are they experiencing after they have gone through? Because it's a very set program. You've got these very clear steps. It's very, very organized, and you know exactly what to do and things like that. So what are they experiencing once they've gotten through it?
A lot of lightness, a lot of manifestations, a lot of increase in clients, money no longer weighing really heavily on them, independence, true, just when you're in your true vibration and your true self, you just feel happy. You're light, you're happy. like things don't bring you down, so
Yeah. The
it's been,
circumstances are still there, but you're coming in with a renewed energy, with a
yeah,
lighter energy.
yeah,
Yeah. I love that.
absolutely.
Yeah. Just think if because we can't control all the circumstances around us.
Nor do you want
Just
to.
Yeah. And I know just of that new space. So one of the things that I'm really excited about, Donita, is that here at Fave Lifestyles, we are creating a pathway, a abundant success pathway for women to kind of move through life and business. And what does that look like? And we're kind of putting our resource partners like you in kind of spaces to show women where they can start, or maybe they've already done this. So, maybe they've already done energy work, so they go to the next step or whatever, but kind of a flow of how to, when to take these workshops, these courses, or do this work, what's the kind of the order of progression. And so with your work, and we talked a little bit about this off camera, that yours is really kind of one of those first steps that women should do, because no matter what you do afterwards is going to really be enhanced by what they do with you first.
Correct. Yes, absolutely.
Whether you're in that growth stage or excuse me, the kind of the first spark or discovery or growth stage, or, you're a very successful businesswoman, before you take any other classes, this is something that would really benefit you in everything else that you do.
Agree. Yes, absolutely. And if you have already passed that, it's okay. It just means that whenever you take it, you will go forward in your true self. But yes, absolutely. If I feel like there's a lot of clarity that comes with this. And I think that when people are kind of creating, entrepreneurs or maybe creating their own space, that the clarity is essential to start out on the right step and just go straight forward instead of circling around a couple of times like I've done.
Yes, no, so have I. I've done some of the things over and over again because I probably wasn't in the right energy and in that my true essence, to do that. So, and there's so many different things, because you got to work on your mind, your heart, your spirit, all these different things. But if you come in at that essence of you, of that person, wow, just see what the difference could be. Oh, I'm totally fascinated by it all.
And I think too, like it takes you to such a pure spot that you don't have to separate spiritual and heart and physical and family and relationships. It all comes together as one. And I think that's probably one of the most settling parts of it, is that you're not compartmentalized anymore. You're just your true self. And I think that's really an important part of women, especially when they get towards their, 40s, 50s, 60s. And there is the past history that does influence your future decisions. And you want to be making future decisions from a pure spot.
Yes. Excellent. Oh my gosh. So excuse me, I'm having
yeah, I'm going to grab a drink as well. Yes.
Excuse me. Wow. So anyway, so you've been a part of Fave here, and I have just the beautiful things that you've said about Fave, and one of and I'm going to let you take over here. What has been kind of the most surprising thing about coming into this community? What were you expecting, and what are you experiencing?
Well, I think mostly, like I've lived in a lot of places. Like I've lived on the East Coast, I've lived in the middle, I've lived on the West Coast, I've lived in different countries. I've lived in Southeast Asia. So I was exposed to a lot of this thought process there. But what I will say is my favorite thing about Fave is I've never been among a group of women who are so encouraging and not competitive, not like cutthroat. It is so loving and kind, and it's so safe, and that does not exist around the entire United States. I can promise you that. I have been in countless women's groups, and they don't operate this way. I think I've told you that before. It's just so love-based, and it is so rare, and that's what attracts me and wants me to. It makes me want to have all my friends come too, so that they can enjoy this spot. Because not only is it like safe and loving, it's crazy educational, and it's crazy build yourself. Anything you need is in this group, like anything. And the women are just so good. Everyone is really good at what they do. And I think that it's nice to have all that filtered out so that you don't have to like do that yourself. You can just go to this really loving, safe spot where everybody really knows what they're doing, and it's so encouraging. And so if like you're down, you can just pop on the group and say, you know, hey, I'm feeling low, and people would jump on. Hey, it's my birthday. Happy birthday. Hey, I have a workshop. Oh my gosh, I can't come, but let me know when the next one is, or I'll be there. You know, like it's just really, it's a beautiful community, Karen. Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
Donita. Thank you. And I'm just getting chills. It's just like, oh, I just want to give everybody a big hug, and you see all my hearts in the back.
Yes, I love her hearts. Love your hearts.
I really want it to be that space. So thank you for saying that. And you know, my experience, and this is one of the reasons I built Fave too, is because I was starting out as an entrepreneur, and I needed to tap into other women, and I didn't want to just tap into any resources because there's a lot of things out there. But what I love about like working with you or working with, you know, some of the other women is that I know you. You know,
Yeah.
you are a trusted resource, and I've heard other women. In fact, I'm working with you right now, and it's because I heard what Wonderful said and what Christina said, that they had worked with you and what they had experienced, and that's what we are really about. That's one of the pieces, to have that trusted resource, not just, and then to journey together. I call you all my wise friends.
Yes.
Because I get to tap into your knowledge, and not just your workshops and things, but just that you're there, we're journeying together, and which is really amazing.
It's nice. I think women feel isolated a lot, and especially women entrepreneurs in their 50s,
Yeah.
60s, 40s. And I think this is such a, it is a girlfriend spot, you know, it is really a girlfriend spot. And I really appreciate that. Like from the bottom of my heart, energetically, it's so light and bright too. So like, it's just such a warm spot for me to come to. And I really, really appreciate being able to do that. And thank you for putting this together. I know every member of Fave wants to say thank you for putting this together. Like, thank you so much.
Yes. Oh, you're so welcome. And it's such a joy to meet with everyone weekly and to just see where everybody's going, where you're going with your business and how you're building it. And we feel like we're part of that, all the beautiful things that you're creating too. So as we close out here, is there one thing you would like to leave the ladies with from your knowledge, and maybe a little inspiration or something for them?
Look at your patterns, pay attention to them. Don't be afraid of them. Look at them. You know, address them. And the longer their patterns that don't work for you, the more heavier you will become with the energy that doesn't work for you. So look at them, face them, because they're a whole lot easier to tackle than you think. They really are.
Excellent. I know it's been very eye-opening working with you, and I have so much enjoyed it. I mean, every chakra that we work on, you feel a little bit lighter, like you're losing weight.
Actually. Yeah, no, sure. Energetically, it's a thing.
You know, you kind of feel like you're walking on air a little bit. And I'm
walking
like,
on sunshine.
Partway through, and I'm like, wow, this is pretty darn cool. So ladies, if you want to hear what it's really like as I walk through it, you know, feel free to reach out with me too, and always happy to share. So Donita, thank you for coming in and chatting with us today. It's always a joy to talk with you and work with you. And yes, thanks a bunch.
Thanks, Karen. Thanks for having me.